There's a really good chance that you're not too busy. Your business is too complicated. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Hello and welcome to the Inner Game of Entrepreneurship podcast. I'm your host, Sarah. I am a scaling strategist for creative, spiritual, intuitive entrepreneurs who are trying to grow their business to $500K to $1 million. And frequently when clients come to me, they have a six-figure business and things are going pretty well for them. Getting to six figures in business is fucking massive, right? 85% of businesses fail within the first 18 months. So for you to get to the six-figure mark, you're already in rare air. You've already accomplished the thing that was your dream starting out. And you get there and you feel so good about what you've done, and you might be so busy. For a lot of my clients, they are so busy for many reasons. The first is that everything in the business lives entirely in their head. They feel like they can't delegate because it would take longer to stop and teach someone how to do the thing they're doing than they feel like it is to just do it themselves. So they're trying to do every single task in the business themselves. Nothing is documented. There are no repeated processes, and they want to make more money, but there is no way that they can make more money doing things the way they are doing them. But the other thing is that they are so busy on this repeating cycle of coming up with a new offer, coming up with a new title for the new offer, coming up with marketing for the new offer, a logo, branding for the new offer, doing a photo shoot for the new offer, writing copy for the new offer, writing emails for the new offer, making content for the new offer, doing a live launch for the new offer, doing ads, doing a webinar for the new offer. And they launch that offer and they make some sales and then they deliver that offer. And then they do it all over again and again and again and again. And again, they are just in this constant iterative process of new offer, new offer creation, new offer generation, new offer launch, new offer served, and again and again. This keeps them incredibly busy. And it is what is stopping your business from scaling. If any of you watched The Bear, during the season where Carmi decided that the restaurant should have a new menu every single night and never repeat a dish, and everyone in the kitchen was like, oh my God, that is so stressful. That's exactly what's happening when you are constantly changing the menu in your business. You're constantly changing the offer that you're selling. For one thing, you're not ever going to be known for anything. In The Bear, people would come and they'd have this incredible meal. They'd go tell people about it, and those people would come to the restaurant to try that meal, and they can't because there's a new menu every single night. It's one and done. If you weren't there the day that that item was there, you're never going to get to have it. So customers are disappointed. They might have a cool experience, but they didn't get to have the exact experience that they were told about that they wanted to try. You're doing the same thing in your business when you're constantly creating new offers. You are not allowing your business to become known for something. This also prevents you from building up a ton of testimonials around your best work. When you go onto a sales page for something and you just see like this wall of testimonials of person after person saying, this worked for me, this was so great for me, this was incredible for me, this worked for me, that is the result of someone selling the same offer over and over and over and over and over again, so that enough people had time to experience the offer so that they could have that great experience and give that testimonial. But if you are constantly launching new offers, then whoever was in that first offer and they say, oh my God, I had this great experience, thank you so much. Well, what the good is that testimonial now? How will that help you when you're selling something entirely new? You don't have any new testimonials to go with the new offer because you're switching gears all the time. So you're not allowing yourself to build up this bank of proof that the offer works and people love it, or that the product is enjoyable and people love it, because you're constantly changing it. The other thing is that you are keeping yourself busy creating marketing assets. You are starting this audience education process over and over and over again. Every time you drop a new offer, you have to educate people about the name of the offer. You have to build up awareness about the offer. You have to build up brand awareness about your brand. You have to let people know that they are the right client for this offer, especially if it's potentially a different client than your last offer. It is so much harder to constantly be creating all new marketing from scratch for all of these new offers than it is to relaunch an offer again and again. The other thing is that your likelihood of sales increases every time you relaunch an offer. Usually offers see 3 to 4 times more sales by being launched 3 or 4 times. So if you launch something and you get 10 people to buy it the first time, and then you go, well, I didn't make that much money off that offer, it must not be a great offer, I'll go make a new one. You lose out on sales, where if you had launched that offer 3 more times, by the time you get to the 4th launch, you might get 40 people in it because now more people have heard of it. More people know about it. It is familiar when they see it again. They go, oh yeah, I remember I wanted to do that last time, but the timing was wrong, but this time I can, and they jump in. Giving people more opportunities to say yes increases your likelihood that they're gonna say yes. One of the reasons my business is able to run as effectively as it does with a very lean team, including me being able to go on 10 days of vacation every quarter and be completely offline, is because I only have a few offers and I'm launching those same offers over and over and over again in rotation. You can join my mastermind a couple times a year. You can work with me privately when my private roster is not full. I have one program that's a year-long program for people just starting their business. The doors to that right now open once a year. That may change in the future, but right now they open once a year. And then I have my CEO Direction Intensive, which is a single 2-hour session that people can book with me. That's what my offer suite is. That's what's available. Anytime I'm not in an active doors are opening launch for a program with a specific start time, I'm only selling the CEO Direction Intensive. That is the way that you can work with me. That is the door that you can come into. You can book a 2-hour session with me. We can sit down and we can go through your business, your offers. We can organize things. I have a few other little things that exist that are things I've created in the past that float around in the back end of my ecosystem as cart bumps or offers that people get if they're moving through an email funnel. But for the most part, I have this really straightforward group work for 2 different levels of business owner, solo work, a single 2-hour session on repeat. This means I can plan out all of my emails weeks and weeks in advance. I can plan out all of my content months and months in advance. And I can reuse content. When I launch Powerhouse again in the fall, I'm not creating an entirely new sales page. I have a sales page. I'm just updating the dates. I'm not creating an entirely new email sales sequence. I have one. I like it. I'm just updating the dates. I'm not creating an entirely new launch when I open the doors for my private coaching for next year. I've been launching it in October every year since 2023. I'm going to pull up all the old emails. I'm going to change the dates and we're going to send them again. I don't even do that anymore. My OBM does that. We have a database with all the emails for all the offers. The emails get pulled. They all get updated. They get submitted to me for approval. I approve them. They get scheduled. That's it. What that frees me up for in my life is everything the fuck else. It is why I can take 3 days a week off. It is why I can keep my work hours to 20 hours a week. It is why I can spend more time focusing on developing material for the clients that I already have and making the programs that I'm running the most rich they can possibly be, because I'm not pouring all of my time into, I got to sell a new thing, got to sell a new thing, got to sell a new thing. I have more time available for serving the clients I have more deeply because all of my sales collateral is already for the most part built. Now I get to express my creativity in live launch free events, right? I can come up with new things that I want to do with people there. I can express my creativity in content. I can express my creativity through my podcast, but I'm not constantly needing to come up with a brand new offer from whole cloth and do a completely new launch all the time, because I only launch the same few things over and over and over again. This is also why I'm able to have people who message me and say, joining Powerhouse Mastermind is on my vision board. Joining your one-on-one coaching is my goal for next year, because they know what I have to offer. They know the doors are going to open again. They know how much things cost, and they have time to prepare themselves to get into that offer and know that it's going to be there when they're ready to come back, because I'm not constantly changing the menu. So if you're resonating with this, back to my original point where we started, you may not be too busy. It just may be that your business is too complicated. If you're trying to create and launch and serve way too many offers, this is a way that you can simplify, streamline your offer suite. No more than 3 or 4 things that you are launching in rotation. The other way that your business may be too complicated is that your sales process may be too complicated. I've talked to people who are like, oh, first I send people to an application, and then they have to fill out this application, and then they get a video, and then when they watch the video, they can book a call, and then we have the call, and then I manually send them. No, too complicated. Simplify the process. What is the minimum thing that needs to happen for people to move from finding out about your offer to being qualified for the offer to purchasing the offer if qualification is necessary? How do we streamline that process? I've talked to people where I'm like, well, how do your clients book appointments? And they're like, oh, after they buy, I get an email, and then I email them back, and I give them a list of options of times that could work. And then some people text me, and then I have people that DM me. No. Streamline the process. Get a piece of software, pay for the piece of software, set it up, get it organized once, and let it live. When people pay, they get taken straight to your booking site. It has your availability on it. They book their thing, and they're done. Simplify everything. Standardize everything. Streamline everything. Automate as much as you can. Rely on software for things. These should not be manual processes for a couple of reasons. One is it makes you too busy. But the other is it's not a pleasant experience for the client. It doesn't let your clients have the experience of standardization. And standardization is not soulless. Standardization just means that every single person who pays gets the same experience. They get the same turnaround time. They get the same speed. They get the same quality. When everything is running through you, you are a human. You are moody and sometimes busy and sometimes absent-minded and sometimes forgetful. We don't want anyone to have the experience of they paid and then you missed an email and then you didn't send them the booking link for 3 days until you get an email saying, hey, I paid for this. What happened? And meanwhile, your client on the other end is like, did I just send money to some stranger on the internet and now nothing is going to happen and I'm not going to get what I paid for? That's not a pleasant experience for them. When we take the time to get everything standardized, then every single person who moves through our business gets to have the exact same level of quality of service that we want everyone to have. So getting yourself out of the way, getting yourself out of potentially being the obstacle between everyone having really high quality service is the most generous and kind thing you can do for your clients. They're paying you. It is the least you can do for them to make sure that every single person who comes through the door who gives you money has a predictable, supportive experience. That's not too much for us to give them. Do not let yourself create a bunch of busy work for yourself. It is unnecessary. Now, if underneath what you find, and this happens a lot, is that you're actually kind of addicted to being busy because it makes you feel important, because it makes you feel like you're doing a good job, because you feel guilty slowing down, because you feel guilty resting, that is an entirely separate thing that needs to be dealt with, and it does need to be dealt with. But I will tell you, a really common thing that happens with my clients is that they come to me and they are like, I am drowning in work. I'm way too busy. I just need systems. I just need organization. I need support. I need documentation. And we build all of that stuff and we get them the support and we document everything. We get them a team member. We clear space off on their calendar. And then the next week when we get back on a call, they have filled all the white space back up on their calendar again with all new stuff to just be busy about. And then we go, okay, there's an issue here where you are uncomfortable not being too busy. Are we ready to look at that now? Because a lot of people don't think they have that problem until they have spacious time. Right? I hate the term free time. I don't like to say it because I'm free all the time, and I will not subscribe to the idea that some of the time I am monetized and other times I am free. I am always free. I am only doing things I want to do, whether they be monetized or not. Everything I'm doing because I want to do it on my own terms. That's how I've engineered my life. So I will say spacious calendar, spacious time that you can do whatever you want with, unstructured time. I used to have this too. I would be laying down in the middle of the day because I didn't have anything to do, and I would hear a noise outside and I would bolt upright like I was going to get in trouble. And to my body, I was anticipating my dad coming in the room and yelling at me for laying down on the couch in the middle of the day, asking me, don't you have something to do? Don't you have a chore? Don't you have homework? Right? If you also used to get in trouble, if you were perceived as being too idle, if you jumped up and performed busyness for a parent because you knew if they walked in and you weren't showing that you were doing something for school or for the household, that you were going to get in trouble. And you have this thing in your body that says, if I'm just relaxing, my mind is racing a mile a minute telling me I should be doing something. If there's should, there's shame, there's shadow. I should be busier. That is a wound that needs to be tidied up. That is something that needs to be attended to. We were not designed to structure every minute of every day. We are just supposed to be walking around, hunting and gathering, eating berries, laying on rocks, swimming in rivers, taking naps, fucking. That's what we're meant to be doing. All the rest of this shit is an illusion. All of this is made up. Humans were not designed to be busy all the time. If you have animals, I encourage you to watch them. They are a fantastic role model for how to just enjoy being a mammal in a body. They are not embarrassed if they just lay down on the floor in the middle of the afternoon and stare at the ceiling for hours. They feel fine about it. Let them be your role models. Getting comfortable with allowing yourself to have unstructured time. You could read. You could go swimming. You could go be in nature. You could go hang out with friends. You could go to the movies. You could do that hobby that you keep telling yourself you don't have time to do. Unstructured time to enjoy your life, to me, is the whole point of working for myself. If I wanted every single minute of my day to be packed and demanding, I would go have a shitty day job. I'm not willing to do that. So I will not recreate those conditions for myself. If you notice that part of your resistance to setting up systems and structures is because you actually like being so busy that you feel so stressed out because you get something out of it. It makes you feel important. It makes you feel virtuous. It makes you feel like you deserve money. You're not really sure how to justify how much money you make if you're not so busy that you're burning yourself out because you think that's the only way you're allowed to have good things. That all needs to get cleaned up. If the problem is just that you lack the systems, build the freaking systems. If the problem is just that you are repeating too many offers, simplify your offer suite. And maybe you will simplify your offer suite and build yourself some systems and get yourself a little help and then realize, I actually am maybe a little bit addicted to being busy all the time. And then you can clean that up one thing at a time. This is my suggestion for you today. This is my thing for you to consider. This is what I'm placing upon your altar. Is it possible that you are not too busy? Your business is just too complicated. And if I'm right, and you're like, oh no, that is what I'm doing, that is the case, now you know what it is you need to do in order to get yourself out of this. Sit down and do a little journaling. Do I need to stop constantly creating new offers? Do I need to streamline my offer suite? Do I need to plan things farther in advance so that I am not constantly giving myself short deadlines and waiting till the last minute for things? Do I need to enlist some help? Do I need to build some automations? Do I need to get my body out of certain processes? What do you need to do to get yourself out of being too busy so that you can enjoy unstructured time. I hope that this episode was helpful for you. If it was, you can email me, intuitiveedgecoaching@gmail.com. You can give me a comment on the podcast Instagram, Inner Game of Entrepreneurship Pod on Instagram, Intuitive Edge Coaching on Instagram, Intuitive Edge Coaching on YouTube, wherever it is that you're getting this. I would love to hear from you. And if you are not on my email list, the best place to learn from me is on my email list. So you can go sign up, intuitiveedgecoaching.com/pod sign up, all one word, PODSIGNUP, pod sign up, all one word. Hop on the email list and you will be getting information that supports what I talk about in the podcast, journal prompts, other little fancy, special, exciting. They're not fancy, but they are special and exciting. Little messages from me to help you run your business. That's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, love you. Bye.
That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. I know there are so many things that you could be doing with your day, so many things you could be listening to, and it means so much that you are here in this community. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment, share it on social media, and tag me at Intuitive Edge Coaching. Share it with a biz bestie who you think needs to hear it and will appreciate it. And take a moment to to subscribe, and to leave a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It helps me grow this show, and it helps us grow and sustain this brilliant community of entrepreneurs dedicated to doing the inner work. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, love you. Bye.